Hello, my name is Fedora Fennekin. I'm an adorable talking detective. Isn't that neat? Come check out my movie next summer. It's got Pokemon and CGI and stuff in it. I shall teach lessons about friendship and life.
In my head, I saw that differently.
This is my reaction to when I saw the Detective Pikachu trailer, which came out of nowhere for me personally. Hello Nintendo normies, this is your pal, Paul Neon Davidson here, and we're going to talk about the new Detective Pikachu trailer that just came out like a day ago, as of me recording this. So, I might not be the biggest fan of the Pokemon franchise. After all, I only own 3 of the mainline Pokemon games, but there was one game that caught my eye when I saw the trailer for it all those years ago. Detective Pikachu for the Nintendo 3DS. Part of what really impressed me with Detective Pikachu was just all the character development that went into it, the world building that went into it, how they define certain parts of the world, because the mainline games never really did that. They didn't really try to make sense of what the Pokemon world was like. And then I heard that they were going to be making a movie and all that stuff about Ryan Reynolds voicing the Pikachu and all of that. And I was like, are you serious? Pokemon is technically owned by Nintendo, and Nintendo hasn't really wanted to make any movies at this point. I mean, nowadays it seems like they're going to be doing that. After all, Illumination is going to be making a Mario movie within the next couple of years. But this Detective Pikachu movie is coming out summer 2019, which means in less than a year, we'll be seeing a live-action CGI Pokemon film that looks gritty as hell. Look at all this stuff. Look how realistic these Pokemon are, and I'll get into this in a second. I was really surprised by all the production value that had gone into this. The CGI, for the most part, looks pretty decent. It's really weird to be seeing a realistic live-action looking Pokemon world. I mean, we've seen commercials where this has happened, like in Pokemon Go and all that, Let's Go Pikachu and all those trailers that have been coming out. But this is like a 90-minute film where we are seeing humans and Pokemon walk about, and this is a world that looks just like ours. Like, if there's ever a time where you could feel that Pokemon could be real, this is the time and place. Forget about Pokemon Go. This is the game. No. This is not a game. This is literally real life. So for the most part, the trailer does kind of suggest that they're following the same story as the game. We got Tim here. That's the name of the main character, the human character in the game, except he's black in this movie because Hollywood's doing this whole we gotta be inclusive stuff in our movies these days. So honestly, it's kind of fine. Tim's not really that major of a character in the entire series, so if you need to replace him, that's totally fine. Kind of weird seeing a realistic Pikachu use, the cartoony Pika Pika! Pika Pika! I can't do a Pika Pika voice. And this is just a world where Pokemon just exist. This is just a real life thing. It's so gritty. I love it. It's just like, how can you take this seriously? And like, you see this scene right here. It's so magical. How do you have such a magical looking little Bulbasaurs walking about in a little river, and then you got the big fierce looking Charizard guy? CGI has been pretty hit or miss for me. I mean, mostly it's been hit, but it's uncanny because realistic freaking Pokemon, like realistic to a point, like to the point I should say. And some of these characters look like they're using models that are straight up ripped out of the games. Like, you saw the Bulbasaurs, you saw, a Charmander, one of the first Pokemon that you see. And then at the same time, you see these really realistic, like you saw Mr. Mime right there, and Pikachu, and Psyduck, and freaking Charizard. But then, of course, there's also the thing that you gotta worry about, because this is a video game adaptation, and those don't really have the best track record. I kind of want to play more of the actual game, the source material, just to see what the story is like. I don't think they're going to be following it one for one, because there's a bunch of stuff out of there that, I mean, you got to remember, Detective Pikachu is a mystery game. The entire mystery surrounds, what happened to Tim's dad, what's causing all the Pokemon to go berserk. And if they are going to follow the story one for one, and you've played the game before like I'm trying to, it just makes the movie uninteresting, because it's like, I already know what happens, why watch the movie? So in terms of following the story, it probably won't be all that accurate, but there's a reason why it won't be that accurate, because, you know, people have probably already been spoiled, you know, years in advance prior to this movie's release. There seems to be a lot of attention to detail in this trailer alone. We get a lot of references to locations in the Pokemon universe. You know, they mentioned Sinnoh. And actually, much like the Super Mario Bros. Movie, there were a lot of stores and locations that were based around Pokemon, which is kind of similar to what's in the games. But this one is like way more realistic. And in the Mario Bros. Movie, there were those stores and such that were like named Bullet Bill, just straight up named Bullet Bill or Birdo or Ostro or something like that. They're just doing that here, where like there were some signs that depicted some Pokemon on there. Eevee, I think, has its own bar. Mr. Mime is performing at a theater in one of the posters, and it could be the Mr. Mime that's actually in the trailer, so maybe that's a little bit of a story spoiler. Ryan Reynolds' voice acting for Pikachu is actually pretty spot on. I was very surprised at how fitting the voice was for this character. I mean, it's no Danny DeVito, but heck, I'm willing to take Deadpool over this whole thing. It's kind of cool. Just hope he doesn't start swearing. I mean, we heard Pikachu say, "Oh my god," and I burst out laughing when I heard that. Oh my god! God exists in the Pokemon universe, and Pikachu just confirmed it. It's hyping me up for something that I thought was going to be, you know, a total waste of time. But no, I'm actually thinking that this might be a good movie, and I hope it is. I mean, it's probably going to do well. It's Pokemon. Pokemon always ends up selling out no matter what. Okay, Pokemon Go, yeah, sure, it wavered a little bit during 2017, but it ended up coming back, and it's coming back now because of the Nintendo Switch games. This movie, maybe it'll be bad, but it's no doubt going to make billions of dollars. Billions. Because it's Pokemon. That's all I really gotta say on this whole trailer for right now, guys. When there's more trailers to come out, you know, as long as it has some really new plot details in it, I'll probably go over it as well. And I can't wait. I'm actually excited for this movie. A lot of the trailers that I've seen posted on YouTube have had pretty good ratings for it. A lot of them have a lot of thumbs up compared to the dislikes. So that's a good thing. A lot of people are accepting this pretty well. And so have I. So yeah, let me know down in the comments what you think about this movie trailer. And if your expectations are high or low. I appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you guys next time whenever I get around to making another video. Have a good one.